seen great amount of offences occurred. We've seen a former Home Secretary, whilst in office, form the Ulster Volunteers, a prescribed terrorist organisation, unless it was prescribed behind closed doors. We had a Transport Secretary, who's still in the chamber over there, charged with one or two terror offences, being a part of the Irish Republican Army. Now, this government says that it is serious in combating terrorism. Do they not think that they should look at themselves before judging others?
Sorry, can you just repeat the question? I didn't quite understand.
Now, I'll do a brief TLDR and I'll simplify it to the simple. The former Home Secretary conducted an illegal order which deprescribed the UVF, which the courts squashed. He created that prescribed organization, and there was a Transport Secretary who's been charged with a terror offence as a part of being a part of the Irish Republican Army. Now, this government has continuously stated at the dispatch box, stating that they are serious about fighting terrorism and they are serious about maintaining the stability in Northern Ireland. Should they not be looking at themselves before looking at others?
Home Secretary.
I mean, if you can't fight them, join them. Sorry, that's quite funny.
Okay, well, if that's his answer, then the leader of the People's Party.
I guess temporary speaker, also Secretary of State. I've heard a lot worse than the Prime Minister. It's fine. I've heard a lot worse from the Prime Minister, I should say. It's perfectly fine. However, that philosophy is a very interesting one that he's just put on record. I fear the Prime Minister might have a shout at him when he enters Downing Street and he's summoned by his supreme leader. Now, we've seen development process is not going, fast. No fault of the developer's own. Can the Home Secretary please update the House on the progress of the Wiltshire Police, if the Wiltshire Police is in a stable form, and if it is ready to deploy if the game opened tomorrow?
Secretary.
The Wiltshire Police is active. High Command is all good. I mean, the game's not going to be dropped for, 3 months? So, no, if it dropped tomorrow, it wouldn't be ready because we're waiting for the game to even get close to a state for release. I mean, we'll be wasting effort otherwise. But it's all active. We're all prepared. We're all setting up different things. So, yeah, I think that answers the question. Unless I missed on it.
Mr. Spiders, if you... Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I'd like to ask the Home Secretary how he plans to keep the British people safe during these uncertain times.
Home Secretary.
I've been working with the Defence Secretary to airstrike any terrorists that come into the nation. The borders are closed to immigration. Any immigrants we see are immediately deported. We recently released a statement: see it, hate it, deported. If we see anything we hate, we just straight away deport it. We're not having any risks. It's shoot on sight effectively. We don't want anything unsafe coming into this country.
That's interesting. The People's Party leader.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Temporary Speaker, also Secretary of State. I fear that might be a human rights violation, but that's not really my department. I'm sure the Lord Bournemouth in the other place will he's probably banging his head as he's listening to this and frantically typing in the cabinet, tagging the Home Secretary, saying, "Don't bloody say that," or however he speaks. Can he confirm to this House if immigration is actually in fact closed? I don't know if he's joking or not. I haven't quite met the Home Secretary. I'm not too sure on his humour. Can he confirm to the House if immigration is completely closed and if he's coordinated or if this government has coordinated that alongside group administration?
Secretary.
When I said immigration was closed, I just meant I can't say that because I'll get group blacklisted.
No, say it, just.
I'll consult with my cabinet and I'll answer it on the next question. Go DMs. Can I say? Anyway, say the engine. I think we can't actually close immigration, but like we're keeping it monitored. Should we say that? But basically, anyone suspicious is coming in, we say no. We shut the borders. We hit them back on the volley, like Rooney.
Is that the leader of the opposition?
Yes, that is.
Yes,
Yes.
that's the
that
leader of
is-
the opposition.
Is it?
That is the
Oh.
one. That is the one, the only, the man who rarely shows up. The leader of the opposition.
Just to say to you, the People's Party man that the Lord Bournemouth approved my policy. What fact did you consider the settler with the Northern Ireland terrorists across?
Probably
What?
the actual terrorists knocking about, but okay.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
Home Secretary.
I think. Oh yeah. The terror letter bill was set to substantial because we don't actually have a game, so there physically can't be an attack. But it should actually be at low. But because we do not have a game, but we are at war, we've set it to substantial. Excepting for Northern Ireland's, we do view that as critical. We want to prevent the deaths of innocent Northern Irish people. We warn them to stay in their homes, do not associate with anyone. They can have a few pints with the lads tonight, but in any case, they have to stay safe.
Leader of the People's Party.
It's not him.
No,
Sorry,
Mr.
that's not the
Spiders.
leader. That's Mr. Spider. Sorry. First day.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I would like to ask the Home Secretary whether he thinks that offending nations have been pummeled enough.
Home Secretary.
What? I'd say talk to the Defence Secretary about that, but no, I think we should turn them into dust and turn that dust into more dust. I think we should obliterate them. I would build them places to. Hello. I'd build them individual places.
One
and-
moment.
yeah.
I'm going to ask the
Polish man.
clerk to remove whoever this is. I think he's
It's
a
a Polish
Polish
man.
patriot. Oh, well, yeah, Home Secretary, please continue.
Mr. Polish man was.
I believe what our policy will be is when we capture these people, instead of putting them in prison or war camps, we're going to put them in camps,
Oh,
places in Poland, places like that.
oh, oh,
Put them to work.
oh,
Citizens of that country, we're going to put them to work camps, if you will.
oh.
They will never leave. And those subjects who aren't desirable workers, they'll be dealt with. I'm sure you'll be assured about that. But they are, yeah, I think we should destroy these enemy nations. And the Defence Secretary wants me to, I've just got a note from the Defence Secretary saying that he is in total agreement with me and that he wants to possibly use the N word, as in the nuclear option. So there you go.
Well, since I can't do a point of order, I technically can't do anything. But the leader of the People's Party.
Oh no! Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, temporary acting speaker. Now, this is my first impression of the Home Secretary. I wish to run this honourable house through what I have just experienced. We have all just experienced. So first, the Home Secretary stands up and says, "We want to obliterate enemy nations and turn them into ash and dust." Great bit of world diplomacy there. He then states the government's official policy that he has just announced to us, the elected officials of the British people, is to create, and I quote, work camps in Poland for undesirables. I have a sneaking suspicion I know what work camps he is on about. And I'm intrigued on how this government plans to. Well, firstly, I don't agree with this at all. I feel that this is a very silly thing to announce at a time where Poland has not only left NATO because they feel that the United Kingdom is full of, and I quote, corrupt politicians, but they've also began getting better ties, closer ties with Russia and CTSO. The government has now officially announced that it's opening work camps in Poland for undesirables. I fear that someone from the 30s and 40s tried to do this, and it did not work out too well for him. I don't believe we should be infringing on the sovereignty of Poland, creating work camps. It's a very silly idea, in my opinion. But the Home Secretary, he's his own individual. This government is its own individual. However, I expect this government to be responsible for its own actions. When Poland officially joins CTSO and Poland officially begins to embargo and diplomatically isolate the United Kingdom, because God knows this government has already made us look like a mockery on the world stage. So the Home Secretary, that man over there with the Arsenal just announcing that there's going to be work camps in Poland. Does he seriously think, in the current climate, the geopolitical climate of the world, that this is the correct thing to be planning and announcing as a government?
Home Secretary.
There's a bad cop over there. Just yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to ask the clerk to just remove the.
Oh no, he fell. Let him stay there.
Oh, okay. Well, why not? I mean, never mind.
Sad times.
Looked like the cop from the police academy. Sorry.
Right, cheers, mate. I didn't mean Poland. I meant Russia. Yeah, I said Poland. I don't mean Poland. It's like when you say England, but you mean Scotland. Yeah, it's easy mistake. When I said work camps, I didn't mean Auschwitz.
Oh.
But I wasn't meant to say it. But sorry. Just. I've done myself off. Listen, I think we should put the prisoners of war to work. Maybe not in slavery, but indentured servitude to our goals for the future. We don't believe in concentration camps. But I should say, but
I mean, stop talking about fucking concentration camps and work camps, please. It's like, please. It should not be something in like Roblox debated. Like, thanks.
Yeah, see, never happened. We'll send them all to prison. They can work in prison for us. And our official policy isn't that. Although. I don't know, mate. Like, I'm the Home Secretary. Why am I dealing with foreign matters? Leave me alone.
Leader of the People's Party.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, Acting Speaker, and Secretary of State. The Home Secretary brought this up. He was the one that brought up the idea of smashing all these enemy nations into dust and putting prisoners into work camps. He's gone from saying, I want to open work camps in Poland, and then now he wants to open work camps in Russia, and now he just wants to get rid of the work camps plan altogether and simply send them to, and I quote, prison. This is probably the oddest question time with the oddest Home Secretary I've ever seen from this government. And I know this government's already on the ropes, but goodness gracious me, if the Prime Minister was here, I think he would be having a fit and be screaming at the top of his lungs.
Oh.
Can the Home Secretary... Can the Home Secretary please confirm to me the representatives of Poland and other foreign representatives who might be in this visa? There's none of them in. Oh wait, look, there's technically one of them in visa. But can he please tell us? Can he please tell us that he is not going to establish work camps in Poland, that he is not going to establish work camps in Russia, and that he is not going to, and I quote, use prisoners of war in indentured servitude, but not like concentration camps, as he said. You know, at least he's making some form of distinction. He's at least trying. Bless his heart. Can he please tell us that this will not be happening, and that he was only having a laugh? Because I am really afraid right now that this government is just going to make RP UK get the worst reputation, an even worse reputation than this government has already given us on the world stage.
If
you work in IT,
not Poland, but undesirables and Russians, I think the word was. But not work camps. It will be prisoners, and they'll do normal work that regularly UK national prisoners do. Whatever that is. But that's just prisoners of war. That's just prisoners of war. The rest of them, turn them into dust. We don't need them anymore. Okay. All I'm saying is, go, leave me alone. Okay. All I'm saying is we're going to fight this war, and we're going to win. And when we win, we're going to be brutal. We're going to take territory. We're going to burn them down. We're going to destroy their land. Burnt ground policy. Nothing left. We will. I mean, okay, stop talking. The other thing is just like to add to note, I didn't even know we were at war when I took this job. I kind of just joined and got told we were at war like an hour later. So don't take it out of me.
The leader of the opposition.
Sorry, I was just seeing international feed. I've cooked.
Yeah, so I feel the Home Secretary might be getting sacked.
You're getting sacked in the morning.
He's getting sacked in the morning. He's getting sacked in the morning.
You've been asked a question by the Lotto. Will you stop Guinness going
sorry.
to Ireland or something like stupid?
Home Secretary.
I don't know. Leader of the People's Party, what do you say? Let's make a policy right now.
You're stood up.
Come on, just say it. Whisper it to me.
Wait, there's one who stood up.
Let's make a policy together. What do we want?
Peace in the world. That's what we want.
Yeah, we'll probably keep sharing Guinness then, let's be honest. Everyone loves the Guinness.
Spiders. I don't know if it's a Mr. or a Mrs. anymore. Sorry.
It doesn't really matter. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I'd like to ask the Home Secretary what his policy on the treatment of those said prisoners will be, whether he plans to treat them humanely or whether he intends to be brutal. Thank you.
Home Secretary.
Depends on the day. No, very, very humanely. Like normal UK prisoners. Can you tell
Leader of the People's Party.
Right, first and foremost, Mr. Acting Speaker, Secretary of State, Deputy Speaker, the leader of the One Nation Party is yet again displaying his incompetence. We have a Home Secretary who's advocating for work camps in Poland before they flip-flopped, work camps in Russia before they flip-flopped, prisons in Russia, which I assume in the Home Secretary's mind they are just work camps, and now he's also advocating for genocides of
What?
complete populations by saying he wants to smash their civilians into dust. I feel like there is more important things that the Home Secretary is saying than asking him a completely unrelated topic on Guinness exporting and importing. I mean, this is the state of the One Nation Party. We have their leader asking silly questions about Guinness, whilst the Home Secretary is just plodding about saying he's going to establish work camps. I feel like the priorities should be a wee bit stiffened out. As we stand here today, honourable members in this honourable house,
Yeah.
the international community is taking the words of the Home Secretary and posting it to the international forum, which I think the actual admins of the UN are now getting angry about. Can the Home Secretary please just apologise for his remarks and tell us, please, that he's not going to establish work camps in Poland, he's not going to establish work camps in Russia, and he's not going to establish quote-unquote prisons in Russia, where he's going to make them work in indentured servitude, and that he will not, and I quote, smash smash their populations into dust. I find it also a bit confusing that he's in his job. He doesn't know we're in a state of war. It feels like the Prime Minister just fished him out of a pond and plopped him in a great office of state and said, well done, you're doing this job now, and he's left him to it. It seems like the Prime Minister doesn't care about him. It seems like the Prime Minister's just left him out to dry. If the Prime Minister was here right now, I think he would have fired the Home Secretary after the first question. But can the Home Secretary do the things I've asked? And can we please move on from the topic of work camps in Poland?
Home Secretary.
Let's recategorize. There will be no prisoners for civilians. Civilians won't be harmed. This is for legitimate military prisoners and targets. If they enter, I got confused. Let's be honest. If they're Kirk, send me my right notes. You're making me worse. What? You moron. There'll be no work camps. There'll be no civilians destroyed. Everyone will be safe and secure. We won't harm civilians. There'll be no work camps. There'll be prisons for legitimate military prisoners of war, but they will not be harmed. They'll be treated humanely. We won't be turning anyone to dust. There'll be no workhouses or anything like that. I think I got a little bit confused with the questions. I say we move on from that.
Spiders.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Final question from me. I'd like to ask the Home Secretary whether, in the case that you claim that there won't be work camps but instead prisons, will, for example, reporters such as the ITV be allowed inside of them to prove that they are not in fact work camps and they are in fact prisons, as you claim?
Yeah.
Secretary.
No.
Right.
Sure, sweet.
Anyone else?
Please, can we end it on a good note?
How is that good?
If there are no more if there are no more questions, we will continue to the adjournment debate on the next general election.
What? When?
I don't even know.
Oh.
Leader of the People's Party.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, Acting Secretary of State, blah, 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 blah. I'm a bit confused that this has been put on the order paper by seemingly the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister's not here. No one from the government benches, including yourself as a Secretary of State, has been informed of this debate and what they should be saying. Yet again, we see the Prime Minister building up walls around himself, not being transparent with the British people, let alone his own cabinet. For the next general election, I'll make it a TLDR. It's probably going to be between the People's Party and the Social Democratic Party or the SCP, whatever they call themselves nowadays. However, with what the Home Secretary's been saying, I don't have high hopes of them. Let's be honest, the One Nation Party's washed. It's been washed since Little
Real.
Dragon left. They've now got a Lotto who thinks Guinness is more important than preventing. Yeah,
You're
a
not
certain
even old
topic we
enough.
won't. A certain topic that we will not go back to. If I'm completely honest, I think it will probably be a minority SDP government or a minority
You
People's
like
Party
minors?
government. No.
Oh,
Goodness me.
sorry.
Completely thrown me off topic.
I know. That's what I'm.
Uh, the One Nation Party will be relegated to probably not even a singular seat, and then the admins will probably be forced to dissolve them and prop up a brand new party under brand new leadership. In terms of date of actual general election, I believe it's supposed to be happening in January, to my
Hey,
knowledge.
the debate now.
If it's not going to happen in January, it depends on the situation we're at the time. Again, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen in January, or somewhere towards the end of this. It might be towards the end of this month.
I'm
as
motion
far
to
as it's
adjourn.
rightfully stated. Yeah, it'll probably be somewhere in the middle. I just hope it's not around Christmas time, because let's be honest, no one wants to do Lego politics, at Christmas time. Everyone wants to actually spend time with their families, unless you live in an orphanage. And then,
I'm Jewish.
if you do live in an orphanage, then my condolences.
What?
But if it comes to a point where the general election date needs to be relooked at because of wartime, then I would be personally open to discussing it as a house and only have it postponed if this honourable house agrees to such. However, we must remember we are elected by the people. The people must have the democratic right to scrutinise us at the ballot box. They must have the right to choose who sits on those benches over there that the government is sat on, and who sits on these benches over here. I would say give them the choice to pick their MP, but that doesn't really make sense in Lego game. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say, as I know the government really want to get out of here because the Prime Minister is probably screaming at them saying, "Get here now!" or something along those lines of. So I'm going to sit down. Hopefully, in a perfect world, one of the government members will stand up and actually tell us what this debate is about and the intention of putting this debate on the order paper. But again, as many things when it comes to this government, I don't have high hopes. And I will actually give way to whoever just said give way.
That was me.
Hold on, I'm standing up. Yeah.
No, what? There was a giveaway, I believe.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Yes, I gave
sorry,
way
mate.
to my honourable friend. Well, right honourable friend.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy. You're Deputy Speaker, aren't you? Just to confirm.
I
He's
don't even
Yeah.
know. That's
He's
temporary
acting.
something.
Thank you, Acting Deputy Speaker. In this next election, there are two main options. The government, who have been involved in scandal after scandal involving multiple of their now former cabinet ministers, or there's the People's Party, a party fighting for our British people in Parliament. And over there, we have the One Nation Party, who can't even be bothered to bring more than 2 members of Parliament to Parliament, and a man who thinks that Guinness is more important than a potential destruction.
Auschwitz.
Well, I believe it was a giveaway, so the
I need to
leader
make
of the
more
people's...
I thank my right honourable friend for his intervention. I totally 100% agree. The People's Party are the correct party to pick at the general election. And I understand saying this whilst we only have 3 seats is a bit of an iffy one, but we have had good attendance with only 3 seats. I understand the big parties have had issues of retention and attendance of their backbench MPs, which is greatly disappointing, not only for me, but I'm sure for them. Not only as a political jab, but also as we want an active parliament. We want to get committees. We want everyone to attend. But sadly, that's not happening, and I feel that the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition need to rethink when it comes to picks on the backbenches and communication with those backbenches. When it comes to the Lotto's preference over Guinness, then preventing whatever the Home Secretary's fantasies are, I fear that he should probably get his priorities straight, as when it comes to the election debate, You best know I am bringing this up at the election debate. It's going to be so peak, and you can quote me on it.
Well, the Secretary of State.
Oh, I stood up on accident. I was typing. Sorry.
Okay, well, the leader of the opposition. Scroll TikTok.
Real.
What are you saying?
I don't know. I can't see anything.
No, he's typing. He takes a bit of time.
I forgot he types.
Sweet.
Great. The Secretary of State.
Right. I'm going to take this opportunity to correct the record before I get sacked. Okay? Right. Everyone pay attention. There will be no work camps. There will Russian prisoners of war can be taken, or prisoners of war of enemy nations. I didn't mean Poland at all. I misspoke. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, let's be honest. Half of it was a bit of a joke because there's like 7 people, but who cares? Anyway, I misspoke a little bit, but let's just ignore it slightly. It don't, it's not an official policy. I was just rambling. Anyway, on the election, I don't even know. I don't know when the election is. It's too far away, and but can we have this debate close to the election day? I'll motion to adjourn. I can't be after this.
Is there a second, or there is no second? So the leader of the People's Party. Well, it's too late now, isn't it?
Thank you, Mr.
He's
I'll be very
seconded,
quick.
he seconded,
I'll be
he
very
Yeah, I was
quick.
too late.
I'll be very,
You
I'll be
moron.
very quick. I'll be very quick. Not very
I
nice.
motion to adjourn.
I understand the Home Secretary's sense of
Give
humour.
way.
I understand that he likes dark. Let me finish. I understand he likes dark humour. I like a bit of dark humour as well. But he needs to understand that everything that he says at that dispatch box is official government policy. He needs to understand that these sittings are attended by foreign dignitaries from all over the
Motion
world,
to
some
adjourn.
of which who view us as hostile, such as
Motion
the
to
Republic of Ireland. What needs to happen, in my opinion, is firstly the stop horrendously typing, whoever that is. Secondly, I feel that the Home Secretary probably needs to save face and be this government's sacrifice when it comes to what he's just said, and he does need to resign and go to the backbenches. I feel like that's the only way our foreign allies are going to. I say forgive, but they probably will never forgive that whilst the Prime Minister
Quite
is the
well
Prime
after.
Minister. We already see the international feed is going absolutely bananas. I don't blame them for going absolutely bananas, especially a country like Poland that was ravished by the Third Reich during the occupation. I don't think they find the jokes horrendously
Wait.
funny, and I will in a moment. But without going too far off topic, because I know this is supposed to be an debate on the next general election, but again, not even the government understand what the point of that is. There needs to be some form of repercussion when it comes to that. I understand the Home Secretary has been told to correct the record, but the fact is the damage has already been done. Poland, a nation that, if they didn't already view us as completely hostile, they now do. Poland has been seeking closer ties with Russia because of the failures of this government to make us and them have a good relationship. They broke off from NATO, and I would not be surprised if, after the comments made by the Home Secretary, not only would they join CTSO, but they would also potentially join active conflict against the United Kingdom. I don't know what is going to be enough. I don't know how many scandals it needs to take for the Prime Minister to resign. I don't know how many cabinet reshuffles it'll take for the Prime Minister to finally take accountability and resign himself and call a general election. But something needs to give. We need to have proper maturity in government. And I'm not saying that the words stated by the Home Secretary are immature. Well, they're a little bit immature, but still, I don't think he understands the full concept of everything he says in the dispatch box is official government policy. But that's all I'll really say on that. I feel this government needs to take a good, long, hard look in the mirror when it comes to its foreign policy, because they have made us look like an absolute joke on the foreign stage, and I will give way to my right honourable friend.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Deputy Speaker. I'd like to thank my right honourable friend for that speech. I'd like to give some advice to the member over there. Be careful what you say at that dispatch box, because it can backfire on you quite harshly.
This will be my last thing. Giveaway. I completely agree with my right honourable friend. If I was Prime Minister, and one of my MPs, let alone a great officer of state, would say that, I feel we would be having a strong conversation in the Chief Whip's office and potential firing. The Prime Minister needs to stop, delegating responsibility for the actions of those at the dispatch box, let alone those at the back benches. That's all I'll say on that. Again, people might think I'm a job's worth for saying it, but the fact is, it's isolating us diplomatically. It's making us lose more allies, and Russia, a nation that is inherently hostile towards us, is going to continue to gain more allies, and it's going to get to the point where we may need to find a new United Nations because of how this government has made us, as a brand new, technically somewhat a brand new group, look on the international stage. What this government says is going to get this group a reputation. NUSA or NUSA already has a reputation, a somewhat bad reputation because of actions conducted by members inside their community. A good, strong, hard look needs to be had in terms of accountability from this government. That's all I will say, and I hope we can now adjourn because my DMs are going mahoosively mental.
Second.
The question is that the question now be put. All in favor say aye. On the contrary, no. I believe the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is, I would now adjourn.
Aye.
All in favor say aye. On the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Order. Okay, bye. That was interesting to say the least.